naked with other people. But
It's it,
yeah,
oh yeah.
when I went, it was just this old. Hey guys, it's Kobiko, and thank you for tuning in to another episode of this podcast where we'll talk about random thoughts on random topics. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of this podcast. As always, I'm your host, Calvino. For today, we'll be talking about travel spots, so another traveling topic. But this time, let us welcome our next guest. Um, he is actually our final guest for the season, so let's welcome Ivan.
Oh, hey, what's up? I didn't
Hello,
know there's
man.
a final season.
Yeah. No, this is next. I think next week will be my final episode. But yeah, you're my
Okay,
final guest for
let's
the
go.
season. But first off, belated happy birthday.
Oh, thank you,
I
thank you.
didn't realize until I saw your post on Instagram. I was like, oh snap! It was his birthday. But
Yeah,
yeah, how are you?
I'm good, man. Work's busy. Uh, schedule's crazy, but
Yeah,
ooh,
where
yeah.
are you currently? And
So I'm currently in Okinawa, Japan. So
oh, okay.
I work for the U.S. military. I'm in the U.S. Air Force, stationed here. I've been here since like 2017, and I'll be here until 2023. So
Oh wow.
I got a while.
You got a while, but then time flies, so you gotta really soak it in.
Yep.
I heard Okinawa is beautiful. I've seen
Oh
pictures.
yeah, there's so much spots over here, man. It's
It,
crazy.
is it very different from like mainland Japan or?
It's very different. The culture, the people, the language too. There's also like their own like local language, and there's a big military presence here. So a lot of military influence.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I had like yeah because I have like opportunities to travel to Okinawa or like Kyoto. Well, obviously, last year I was meant to go to Kyoto,
Mm-hmm.
but because of COVID, I wasn't able to.
Kyoto. Oof.
It's a good
One
there.
month. Oh, it's really good.
Someday. Hopefully, after COVID, I'll be able to travel. But yeah, I mean, let's go on ahead with our first segment. So our first segment, let's talk about our experiences. What are the pros and cons of basically any destination that you come to
Mhm.
when traveling, and also your experience. You said you're part of the military, so
Yes.
yeah. So let's go ahead with your experience. Would you have a particular experience of
Oh, so cons. I'll start off with cons first, if that's cool.
yeah.
Because I like to end off with positive. But cons, like it's hard to plan out stuff. Because for me, whenever I travel, I like to plan it out. So I have to go, oh, which train am I taking, or which
Yeah,
hotel, which Airbnb, which cities am I going to, who's with me. Like the
yeah.
more people that's with you, the more hassle it is going to be. There was one time where I was like a tour guide for like 8 people
Yeah.
in my shop. I don't want to. I don't want to have you guys behind me all the time and follow me around. Do your own thing, like leave me alone. I want to do my thing. This was in Tokyo, actually. It was in Tokyo.
Yeah, I actually like really relate to that because whenever me and my family we go traveling, I'm always the one that's like planning out stuff, so it can get really stressful.
It's
I think
stressful, yes.
there was one time we went um to Milan, Italy, and
Ooh.
I was planning to go to this place. So we went to this place, but it turned out I put in the wrong name on Google Maps, so we went like way far ahead
What was
out.
the name?
I actually forgot, but it was like outside, basically the city center. We're like all lost, and we had to take an Uber back to the main
Mm.
city, and it cost me around, I don't know how much it is, in dollars and stuff, but it was like £40, which is a lot.
Oh, okay.
So
I don't know, pounds is $1. Ooh.
yeah, but it's a lot. So um, yeah, con that's a part of con. Yeah, I would say it's very stressful when planning.
I
Uh,
do have one.
yeah.
Uh, I had experience in Amsterdam. I was in Amsterdam for a weekend. Um, it was really sketchy. Like just to be really very sketchy. It was a beautiful place. Like I love the place. I'd go back again in a heartbeat. But like, I've been like there's I've seen people like follow us for a couple
Yeah,
minutes. We had to like go within the streets and get out of there. And then I've had a couple of people like offer like drugs and stuff and like so, like taking me like, hey, you want some? You want some? Like, I'm good, man. Like that was scary for me, and I was young too. I was like 19 or something.
do you know what?
And I was
I'm not even surprised. It's Amsterdam.
yeah.
I'm not even surprised. Another con, I would say, maybe as
Pretty
like a military. Do you have any kind of restriction or anything?
Oh yes, okay. I forgot about that. Yeah. So cons for that is since COVID, we've been allowed to travel through mainland Japan, right?
Yeah,
But there's so much steps just to go to a 2-hour flight. You got to get some paperwork done. You need to send them your itinerary, what plans you're gonna do, what rental car you're gonna do, or it's like it's
really.
too much of a hassle to travel lately from
Yeah.
the military here to Okinawa. It's
Oh,
during COVID.
oh wow. So, I mean, normal travel during COVID is hard enough already as it is.
Yeah,
Well, I guess
yeah.
as military, you gotta have more precautions, and I just can't imagine that. I haven't gone traveling during COVID. I mean, I've traveled like by car around
Mhm.
different cities, but not a different country, which I would love to do so. Hopefully, near in the future.
Yeah.
Just hoping all this COVID stuff just we're all tired of it.
I was so tired. I'm tired.
Why don't you give me a pro now? So
Bro,
yeah.
there's so many pros. So one like a little general one. So when I was in the 19, I deployed, right? But it was to a deployment to like Germany,
Yeah.
back whenever. Um, but in Germany, from there we had a rental car and we went through every country. So I was in like on a base that was like in the center of Europe, basically. So I
Yeah.
got to go Amsterdam, Paris, London, Belgium, so many, and all over Germany. So like just being in the military, it gave me free travel basically
Oh, that's
because the
sweet.
rental car was paid for, the gas was paid for, the
Oh,
flights were paid for. I just had to work for 6 months over there, which is not bad.
yeah. Oh, wow. Okay, that's like a free road trip.
It was a free vacation, 6 month vacation. I was
Yeah.
I was stoked. It was like the highlight of my military career actually, that deployment.
When was that?
Ooh, 2018, 2017, 2018.
Oh, that's not too far back. That's not too far back. That's sweet
Yeah.
though.
No, 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 I lied. 2015 to 2016.
2015. Okay, that's not
Yeah.
too bad actually.
Yeah.
How many countries are there? It's like quite a lot, especially in
That's
Europe.
what
Yeah,
yeah,
especially
you're,
in Europe. Some countries are more expensive than other. So I
mhm.
mean, for you got it for free.
And
Sweet.
they kind of give us a little like allowance, I guess, per day. So
Oh,
and
okay.
that helps us with traveling. So every other weekend we're always going to a different country.
Oh, nice, nice. I'll give a pro. Because I want to talk about my experiences when I went solo traveling. Because there's so many places I've been to just by a solo travel. But I guess I want to talk about my experience when I went to the US.
Hmm.
So I went to LA. Um, Mind you, I have never been to any part of the US before. Not my family. I do have relatives in Florida and Georgia, but
Yeah.
I've never been there before. I didn't know there was such a process where I have to get I forgot what it's called. It's like ESTA or something here in the UK, and
Hmm.
then yeah, it's a long process. I had to go to LA, but I think stepping down and landing and getting on the ground, it was kind of like a surreal moment for me because never
Hmm.
in my life thought I'll be going to LA, even by
Yeah.
myself. And I stayed in a hostel
Mhm.
by Hollywood. So it was my first time staying in a hostel, and you get a lot of like really anxiety and stories about staying in a room full of strangers, right?
Yeah.
So it was scary, especially LA. There's quite a lot of suspicious people. Put it
Especially after, like, I don't know if you watched like those Netflix movies, like they've been
yeah,
talking about like people and like killers
yeah,
in those hostels in the same building. I'm
yeah,
like, ugh.
yeah. But honestly, like I thoroughly enjoyed it. I enjoyed staying in the hostel. And the fact that because in LA, I didn't rent a car, so I was
Mm.
just taking public transport and stuff. And then when I met friends um, in LA, they were quite shocked that I was taking public transport because they were advising me not to because but yeah, it was kind of funny seeing like what you see on like videos on like Facebook or YouTube, like crazy stuff happening on like trains in America. I've experienced
Yeah.
that firsthand, so it's quite
No,
it was quite a
like people
scene.
arguing or something or fighting, like
No,
that
it's just
happens
like
all the
it's just some crazy people that
time.
but I'll put it as a
I've never,
pro. I'll put it as a pro because like it was such an experience, that I never thought
oh,
I would have. And I
oh, this
think
is America.
I was like, this is America. Yeah, it's something that I think solo travel because you're mostly left by yourself. You're mostly left by your own thoughts. You don't really have anyone to share your opinions with, right? So
Mm.
you're just kind of like sharing the experience with yourself, and I think it's a good thing. Have you solo traveled before, or
Oh yeah, solo travel, man. That's like a whole different like ballgame. I feel like solo travel. I think my one and only time was Japan. Actually, was Tokyo, because I've been to Tokyo like 3 or 4 or 5 times already.
yeah,
Wanted to go like by myself this time, and it was good. I can do whatever I want.
yeah?
Shop where I want. It's like it's nice. But I mean, it does get lonely, but I don't care. It's only for a few days.
No, I did, yeah, because I shared that experience as well because I went to use solo travel in Tokyo.
The what do you call that? 9 hours
Yeah, yeah,
hotel.
9 hours.
Absolutely. I went to it and it was okay. It wasn't a great, but good
Yeah,
experience. But like it's like I had it was too hot, and then there's people snoring, and I don't know.
yeah. I went. Yeah, I think my one was okay. I think the 9 hours that I went to was more I guess spacious and more cleaner.
Mhm.
Which was really nice. And I think I remember when I went to Tokyo, I was actually messaging you. I said,
Yeah, I
and
remember
then
that. Yeah,
and then you left like a week before I went or
yeah.
something.
I was like, that's missing, man. And you
Yeah,
went to cool places too, like
yeah. I went to the Team Lab. Have you been there?
oh yes, I've been to Team Lab. Yeah, that was in Diver City or something like that. I don't know,
Oh,
somewhere
definitely.
there.
Oh, okay, no, no. I went to the one in Japan. So it was good. Yeah, I do. Japan is like my number one country that I would definitely like visit again. Oh,
Oh yeah.
number one city. Yeah, about it's because there's so much things to do, right?
Yes, there's so many things to do. The culture, like you can get immersed in the culture. Everyone's so accepting. Everyone's so nice and humble. It's easy to get in the culture.
Yeah, I heard like from a lot of people who've been to Japan, they didn't like the experience um, because they were like, oh, some people were rude to them or something.
Mm.
And for me, I just said like, I think it's because like it's not rude, but it's just more of like you weren't communicating with them properly or something like that. Because when I stayed in yeah when I stayed in Tokyo, everyone was so nice. But yeah, I think that's so. For our second segment, let's talk about our favorite travel spots or travel destination. As a fellow traveler, I'm sure you've been to many different places.
Mhm.
Um, Going back to what we were discussing earlier, obviously I have to put Japan as my number one favorite travel destination. Like I said from before, there's so many things that you can do. Um, even if you go, if you want to go for the culture, then
Yeah,
it's such a great thing to go for. But if you want to go for anime or manga or anything like that, there's so many things
there's
for
so
you.
many here. Yeah.
Or if you want to just go there for like fun, fun stuff or trying new things, and it has a lot to offer. One of the the first experience that I had when I was in Japan, which I was really scared of,
Yeah.
was going for an onsen.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because I went to this I went to stay at this what is that place called where it's like a more traditional Japanese inn.
All like with the whole tatami floor mats and everything, and you're
Yeah,
wearing the robe. Oh,
yeah,
I forgot. I forgot what that was.
yeah. I stayed in a traditional Japanese inn, and they have like traditional onsen.
Yeah.
And for those who don't know what onsen is basically a public bath. Uh,
Everyone's bumping around you.
it's like a hot tub. It's like hot bath. It's like really really hot, and
Yeah.
you have to be fully naked with other people. But
It's it.
yeah,
Oh
when I went, it was just this old man, so it was fine.
yeah.
But it was such an experience that I can never forget, and I would honestly do it again.
You would do it again?
I would do it again. It was honestly it was so good. So why not? What about you?
So I want to bring up some like hidden gems. Have you heard of Palau?
Palau.
Pala. Yes, it's in the Micronesian Islands.
Yeah, yeah, I've heard of it. Yeah, I actually have
So
like I actually have like a map like in front of me. Yeah,
okay,
I have
so
like a whole scratch board like map thing.
okay, so Palau. I was there when I was like 15 years old. Um, there's a place called Rock Islands. It was super nice. Like you take a boat ride. I swam with jellyfish, and they don't sting. And I swam with sharks. Seen a bunch of turtles, a bunch of fish, a bunch of like corals. It's like the most beautiful place I've like snorkeled. And I'm an outdoors guy, so like I love swimming out there or hiking. And Palau was like the best place for that. And I bet no one's really ever heard of
Yeah,
Palau.
yeah,
And it's kind of a primitive island. Not primitive, but like it's pretty old school there.
yeah.
But the nature and the outdoors stuff is all real beautiful.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I've never really like when you hear like Palau, you don't really think of anything because most like what you
Wow.
said, most people don't know what it is.
Yeah,
But that's interesting. I might actually start googling that later.
it's worth to go, man. The people are so nice over there, man.
Yeah,
The island culture is like pretty much the same everywhere, so everyone's pretty homey. Everyone's like very inviting, and they
you know,
feed you.
that's what I actually want to do someday is go to one of any Pacific islands or just see the island culture in person.
Mhm.
Um, I haven't had the chance to do so, but I'd love to do that in the future. Um,
It's a totally different experience for sure. If you go to these little islands, you appreciate the lifestyle around and the culture around
yeah,
there. And the culture is totally different, and the culture, you never really hear about in movies or TV shows or
yeah.
whatever. So it's something super new to everybody, especially Americans.
Another country that another destination that I would like to point out. One of the countries that I'd love to visit again in the future.
Mm.
What was a city? Is Sorrento in Italy.
Sorrento.
Sorrento, yeah.
Okay.
So you land actually when you take the plane. Well, from what I did, I landed in Naples in Italy,
Hmm. That's
and
like south, right? South.
yeah, south, yeah,
Okay.
south of Italy, yeah. And to get to Sorrento, you either have to take a train for like
Hmm.
2 hours or something, or an hour, or
Yeah.
take a bus or a taxi. Um,
Okay.
because there's no like I think Naples is the nearest airport to get to Sorrento. For what we did is we took the public bus. Well, it's not a public
Hmm.
bus; it's more for like a coach. So we took that, and I'm honestly like really happy that we took that route because the view was amazing because
Yeah.
you literally go through the cliffs and then you see like the ocean on the way to Sorrento. Because I think Naples and Sorrento is very cliffy, if you know what
Hmm.
I mean. Like this, it's like right beside the cliffs and right by the ocean. So it was really good. And I took my parents to. I said it before. I took my parents to a yacht to Capri, and it was beautiful. Like it was funny as well because on the day of our holiday, our week of holiday, it was forecasted that it was like going to rain all week,
Yeah.
right? But when we went, the days that we were there were all sunny. So it was kind of
Oh,
like
yeah.
it's kind of like they left all the sun for us, and then when we left, that's when it started raining again. but
Like,
I
wait, wait, God, he's coming.
but I highly suggest if you want to go to Italy and you want to go somewhere that it's out of the main tourist area like Florence, Rome. I would suggest to go to Sorrento. I mean, everyone was really nice, and it was such a it was such a good experience because you can definitely see the culture. There's I think it's called siesta during like
Mhm.
2 p.m. or something like that. So all the shops are closed. Um,
Okay.
but in the evening, that's when uh,
Everything is like,
yeah, everything's lit. I remember when I was there, it was like about 9 p.m. and
mhm.
everyone was just so like everyone's just outside like chilling, and then you can see like kids roaming around. Like it's like yeah,
Man,
highly
that doesn't happen no more because COVID, but
yeah
I like
no
those type of like festivities, man. Like, I love that. So, since you mentioned Kyoto, I prefer Kyoto over Tokyo, over Osaka, over the snowboarding place I went to. But Kyoto for me was like the most beautiful place,
yeah
and the food was great. All the tourist areas over there was fantastic, man. Like, I highly recommend going to Kyoto.
oh man. I'm just like I remember because I spent so long like researching Kyoto, like where to go and stuff, and at the end, we weren't able to go, which sucks. But hopefully, yeah. From what I researched, I can already tell
Mhm.
like it's such a beautiful place. So I can never imagine like being there in person and actually seeing it. Because I do believe Kyoto is more traditional, right?
Oh yes, yes,
It's more
and
traditional.
yeah, more traditional because Tokyo, you're caught with the city life. I mean, the culture
Yeah,
is there, but like city life is like that's all you see. But Kyoto,
yeah.
you can actually do the
But the girls like wear kimono and stuff like that.
yeah tomorrow. That's what
Yeah.
it is. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I see that. I see that. I see that picture quite a lot. It sucks though, but I think with Kyoto, you need to travel from one of the main cities like Osaka or
Osaka.
Tokyo.
Yes.
Um, and it's that's the beauty of Japan as well. Like the system is quite fun as well. Like you get Shinkansen and the subway, and yeah, it's very easy. Yeah, like what you said.
A little pricey though. Like it's like I'm not gonna lie, it's a little pricey. But I mean, if you're only there for a few days, it's worth the money to go to a whole different city, experience a city there. So like, oh yeah, it's super easy to travel to Japan. Or actually, wait, no, I take it back. It's not easy. I've been lost before.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was fine because I just had like my Google Maps ready and it worked. So, well, I was in Tokyo, so I wouldn't really say, you know,
Mhm.
um, for Kyoto. But when I was in Tokyo, I just had my Google Maps ready, and it was fun. Um, before you do go to Japan, um, it's better to practice basic Japanese. It's really helpful.
Yeah.
Um, but Japanese has so much like technology. I think you can also get those
There's little
translate.
translators.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
translator. I thought it was just like a joke on the internet because I've seen it before. But when I
Yeah.
actually landed, I was like, "This is actually for real. Like you can actually hire a translator
Yeah.
machine thing."
And they use it on me too, and I was like, that's kind of
Really?
cool. Yeah.
So for our audience participation, we'd like to ask you questions from Instagram relating to the topic. So the other day I asked you guys, what are your favorite travel destination or travel spots that you've been to? So I'll pick five. The first one is at Leh, she said Seoul in South Korea. I'd love to go back there. Second one is at NCAT85PX. She said Coron, Palawan. I was actually meant to go Coron last year, so that's very unfortunate. But I'm hoping after COVID I'll be able to get there. Third one is at Mc, McVella. She said America Classic. Number four at Alia Datno. She said Japan and New York City. And then the last one at Christetta Lund, she said UK. We often overlook that people actually um, consider the country you're living in as a travel spot. But that's cool. So thank you guys for answering my questions. So for our top recommendation, as you know, we'd like to recommend anything to you guys. This can be a book, an app, food even, or a person. It can be really literally anything. So Ivan,
Mhm.
why don't you start off with your one?
So I've been watching this TV show. It's Korean. Running Man. Have you heard of it?
I've heard of it. I've
So
heard of it.
so Running Man. I don't know. It's like you get the English subs on there, and it's so entertaining. They get so creative. Like every episode is something different. It gets you on your feet, and you wanna be there. You wanna play with them. It's like
Yeah,
that's it feels interactive when it's not, and that's why I love the show so much. It's so creative. It's so funny.
nice, nice. I think I've seen a few episodes, but that was like years before. So, um,
Mhm.
I'd love to check it out again. My top recommendation is actually a website. Let me just pull it on my phone.
Yeah.
So the website is actually called driveandlisten.herokuapp.com, which is basically kind of like a simulation kind of thing where you choose a city that you want. There's actually Tokyo in there, so you click
Oh,
Tokyo, and you see a video. It's basically you're in a car,
yeah.
and then you can turn on the radio, and you just basically watch the car drives around the city. So it kind of
It's,
like,
it's live stream kind of.
what was that?
It's kind of like a live stream.
Not really live stream. It's kind of like a pre-recorded, but it just makes
Oh,
you, it makes you feel like you're in a car driving around the city. And
okay.
there's so many cities, so you literally like there's one for Berlin, Korea, New York.
Mhm.
So yeah, I think last night I just clicked Tokyo, and then you can listen to Japanese radio, and it makes you just feel like you've traveled
Yeah.
and you're.
The quote for this week is everything happens for a reason. I don't know who said that. And probably said you probably heard it a million times, but this kind of what I live by. And since I'm religious, and there's something out there for me, and there's a purpose out there for me. And when certain things happen in your life, you're meant to learn. You're meant to go through life, learn from your mistakes, and um, meet new people, stuff like that. It's very very vague Cool.
So that's it for our episode for today. We hope that you enjoyed this episode about travel spots. And huge thank you to Ivan
Thank
uh,
you, man.
for guesting. I know you've had a really hectic week. But again, before belated happy birthday.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
I'm not gonna let it fall. But yeah, so I hope you enjoyed recording. I know it was kind of a bit like
This is fun, man. I love talking.
I mean talking and traveling, why not,
Yeah,
both.
right.
But it was kind of cool that I was kind of able to share a similar experience when you travel to Japan, when travel to Tokyo, when I traveled to Tokyo. So it was kind of cool because I always talk about it to other people, but they don't have the same like similar experience as me. I'm just like, they can't relate.
Yeah. And we need to travel one time, man. Like one time, just us two. Like just go
Yeah,
wherever. Like for a few days. Like that'd be dope.
yeah.
And
Well, hopefully it doesn't. Last time doesn't won't happen again. Hopefully when I message you, maybe when I go to Osaka or Tokyo, or Kyoto, sorry, then I'll let you know.
yeah.
But yeah, why don't you give us a shout out of your social media or shout to anyone?
Oh, so social media, Instagram, scenario dot Ivan SANARIO dot IVAN. And shout out to Wena Castro from Milan, Italy. She's actually like listening right now, but she's on mute. But shout out to her. You know, COVID's COVID's a monster. COVID's a beast, but we'll get through it.
Awesome,
One day we'll see.
awesome.
Yeah.
Shout out for me. I just want to give a shout out to I guess like always every week everyone who's been listening and who's been tuning in up to this point. Um, Next week will be my last episode, and I hope you guys still tune in. Hopefully there will be season three because I do still have a lot of people who are open to guesting. So we'll see about season three. But if you guys would like to check out and continue answering my audience participation question, then follow me on Instagram at Making Sense with Calvino or become a patron at patreon.com/Making Sense with Calvino. But that's it for today, and we'll see you again next week. Bye.
Bye.